so we've sort of covered the initial concepts of what I'm trying to get across here, which essentially is trying to create biochemical balance. So let's turn the page and look at the obtain plan rules. Okay, so rule number 1, do not count calories, please. As you alluded to us here, Rebecca, that you can become really obsessive with it, can't you? And sort of counting every single morsel. But just trying to listen more to your body. And again, those fake foods that we've been talking about are the ones that hijack this system as well. This amazing system that we've all got that says, you've had enough, you don't need to eat anymore, it's alright. So yeah, please do not count calories. And rule number 2, make sure that you have a fat and protein source at breakfast, lunch and dinner. There's no portion limit on these fat and protein sources as long as they're real foods. We'll go into those exact fat and protein sources. Rule number 3, and this is just for the first initial 21 days, so this Obtain Health Plan is just for 21 days. And remember, this is specific to the situation, okay? If your biochemical balance is off kilter, we might have to do a couple of different things that might be recommended by others. So rule number 3, do not eat sugar, starch, even fruit for the first 21 days. Alcohol, of course, or low-fat dairy, okay? Now, the most shocking thing for you there is most probably the fruit, okay? Fruit can be healthy, of course, but it really depends on your specific situation. Rule number 4, eat 1 cup of green vegetables at breakfast, lunch and dinner, totaling 3 cups a day. So, just a regular mug, you can fill that up. Yeah, it's an actual American measurement, but it's just to give you an idea of how much you know. And you can have a little bit more if you want, but that's the minimum. That's the minimum amount that you should be having at each meal, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Rule number 5, make sure, because this is a real foods diet, okay, your salt consumption actually bottoms out, right? Because there are natural salts in some of the foods, but it's minuscule amounts. So, and because you're dropping carbohydrates so much, your blood pressure will start to drop a lot. And so it's important to make sure that you get enough salt on board to keep your blood pressure normal. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, I think you're actually spot on, Sam, in terms of the total salt content, which is supposed to be healthy anyway, should be about target for anyone per day is about 6 grams a day. So actually, a lot of food has salt already in it. So I think that's perfectly healthy.
Absolutely perfect. Great.
In fact, we'd have probably a lot less problems with high blood pressure. And the commonest cause, actually, the biggest risk factor for death now worldwide is high blood pressure. We think sugar probably has an implication in that as well, but salt is traditionally the dietary factor that's thought to raise blood pressure. We consume much more than we should, but really a limit of 6 grams a day, a teaspoon, as you say, is actually probably absolutely fine.
Yeah. And very much needed when, again, you do drop the carbohydrates, because you start to lose a lot of water as well, right? Because when you consume carbohydrates, and they're stored in your body as glycogen, right? So it stores in your muscles and in about 20% in your liver. Then you hold on to a lot of water with that as well, but obviously when you drop the carbohydrates and you're not storing as much glycogen, your water retention drops, and that can drop your blood pressure.
And so we come back to salt as well, which is interesting. You'll find this when you do this yourself, and I've done this, is that the taste receptors adapt, okay? Same for salt and sugar. So when you cut out salt or sugar, after a few weeks, what you'll notice is that you will find foods before that you didn't notice were salty, quite salty, and that will stop you thinking, oh, that's a bit too salty. So you can overcome it. You won't feel that you might initially think some foods are bland, okay, initially, but when you get through that phase, you kind of reset things, and that's the same thing with sugar and salt.
Absolutely. Then rule number 6, just make sure you try and drink at least 2 litres of water a day if you you are allowed coffees and teas, but we want to try and make sure that you get, you know, around about 2 litres of clean, clear water in your system, and that will help out with your detoxification system as well. Rule number 7, just follow this plan for 21 days, 100%, and use the diary in the back, which I'll go into in a moment, every single day to keep you accountable to obtaining good health. So it's just for 21 days, and ideally you're using the diary towards the back of this, so that you know you are staying accountable to it as well.